Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Sita, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Jaya Bhajatatva, 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 Jaya Bhajatatva, Jaya Panchatatva, 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 Jaya Padai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura.
श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की. Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you for this morning Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Brajajanarayana. Yashoda Nandana Brajajanarayana. Yamuna Tira Panachari. Yamuna Tira Panachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Vadada Srivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. हरि नाम संकीर्तन की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। This morning we are discussing from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1st, verse. Chapter is entitled as The First Step in God Realization. Text 24. Projected. Visheshastasya dehoyam sthavistascha sthavisyasam yatredam vyajyate vishvam bhutam bhavyam bhavakchasat. Visheshastasya dehoyam sthavistascha sthavisyasam yatredam vyajyate vishvam bhutam bhavyam bhaviksayat bhavakchasat. Visheshastasya dehoyam sthavistascha sthaviyasam yadreyam vajate vishyam bhutam bhavyam bhavakchasat. Visheshastasya dehoyam bhavistasya sthaviyasam yadreyam vajate vishyam bhutam bhavyam bhavakchasat. Mataji's. Visheshastasya dehoyam sthavistascha sthavisyasam yatregram yajyate vishyam bhutam bhavyam bhavakchasat. What to what? Visheshaha, personal. Tasya, his. Deha, body. I am this. Sthavis tatha, grossly material. Cha, and. Sthavis yasam, of all matter. Yatra, wherein. Idam, all this phenomena. Vajyate is experience. Vishwam, universe. Bhutam, past. Bhavyam, future. Bhavat, present. Cha, and. Sat, resultant. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The gigantic manifestation of the phenomenal material world as a whole is the personal body of the absolute truth, wherein the universal resultant past, present and future of the material time is experienced. Please repeat after me. The gigantic manifestation of the phenomenal material world as a whole is the personal body of the Absolute Truth, wherein the universal resultant, past, present, and future of the material time is experienced. Purport. Anything either material or spiritual is to be an expansion of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 13.13, the omnipotent Lord has his transcendental eyes, heads, and other bodily parts distributed everywhere. He can see, hear, touch, or manifest himself anywhere and everywhere, for he is present everywhere as the super soul of all infinitesimal souls. Although he has his particular abode in the absolute world, the relative world is also a phenomenal representation, because it is nothing but an expansion of his transcendental energy. Although he is in his abode, his energy is distributed everywhere. Just as the sun is localized as well as expanded everywhere, since the rays of the sun, being non-different from the sun, are accepted as expansion of the sun disk. In the Vishnu Purana 1.22.52, it is said that a fire expands its rays and heat from one place. Similarly, the Supreme Spirit, the personality of Godhead, expands himself by his manifold energies everywhere and anywhere. The phenomenal manifestation of gigantic universe is only a part of the Virata body. Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki, Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maya ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. Less intelligent men cannot conceive the transcendental spiritual form of the Lord, but they are astounded by his different energies, just as the Aborigines are struck with the wonder by the manifestation of lighting of gigantic mountain or a huge expanded banyan tree. The Aborigines praise the strength of the tiger and the elephant because of their superior energy and strength. The Asuras cannot recognize the existence of the Lord, although there are vivid descriptions of the Lord in the revealed scriptures. Although the Lord incarnates and exhibits his uncommon strength and energy, and although he is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by learned scholars and saints like Vyasadeva, Narada, Asita, Devala in the past, and by Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, as also by acharyas like Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhava, and Lord Chaitanya in the modern age, the Asuras do not accept any evidential proofs from the revealed scriptures, nor do they recognize the authority of great acharya. They want to see with their own eyes at once. Therefore, they can see this gigantic body of the Lord as Virata, which will answer their challenges. And since they are accustomed to paying homage to the superior material strength like that of the tiger, elephant, and lightning, they can offer respects to Virat-rupa. Lord Krishna, by the request of Arjuna, exhibited his Virat-rupa for the Asuras. A pure devotee of the Lord, being unaccustomed to the looking into such a mundane gigantic form of the Lord, requires special vision for the purpose. Lord therefore favored Arjuna with a special vision for looking into his Virat-rupa, which is described in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The Virat-rupa of the Lord was specially manifested not for the benefit of Arjuna, but for the unintelligent class of men who accept the benefit, who accept anyone and everyone as an incarnation of the Lord, and so mislead the general masses of people. For them, the indication is that one should ask the chief incarnation to exhibit his Virat-rupa and thus be established as an incarnation. The Virat-rupa manifestation of the Lord is simultaneously a challenge to the atheist and a favor for the asuras who can think of the Lord as Virata and thus gradually cleanse the dirty things from their heart in order to become qualified to actually see the transcendental form of the Lord in the near future. This is a favor of all merciful Lord to the atheists and the gross materialists. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshushunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tasajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada in this purports very beautifully narrates about the mood of the general masses in the material world. And if you see in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam also, there are many options. If you see throughout the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, there is a lot of processes, a lot of options which are given by the Supreme Lord. In various occasions, while conversing and having a pastime or situation in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, either with Pariksit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami, or the Lord's pastime himself, or the lives of various devotees. In that process, you will see so many various processes are described. And then there is also the glorification of the holy name. There is also the glorification of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And time and again, it is emphasized on hearing the holy name and hearing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Time and again, that is emphasized in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Even in this chapter, actually, the answers of Pariksit Maharaj, and also, various sages is beginning in this chapter. And while responding to them, if you see in this chapter, the Lord, the discussion goes like Sukadeva Goswami questions. Sukadeva Goswami starts responding to elevate one's transcendental position. Pariksit Maharaj wanted to be absorbed, his mind completely on Krishna. And that could only be done by hearing the activities of Krishna. That can only be done by hearing the activities of Krishna. And in the subsequent verses, there are a lot of description of common man's activities. Then there is description of the current modern civilization. Because a human being, human life is a combination of matter and spirit. The matter and spirit soul. The whole process of Vedic knowledge is directed at liberating the spirit soul from the combination of the matter. From the combination of the matter. The knowledge concerning of this is called Atma Tattva. And then further it describes that even if you have Atma Tattva, there is another bigger Tattva, family and society. There is a absolute knowledge, and then there is also description of the further knowledge that how a jiva of the living entity is further stuck into family and relatives. The great ocean of material nature is tossing with a wave of time, and so-called living conditions are sometimes like foaming bubbles which appear before the bodily self, wife, children, society. And then also further the path of perfection, and then subsequently it comes to the verses wherein Sukadeva Goswami is trying to describe wherein a class of human beings who actually can also perceive the Supreme Lord, not directly as the devotees, but indirectly. And here the description of Virat-rupa comes. And Prabhupada in this purport, he mentions specifically for the asuras and the atheists. Asuras, who are the asuras? Demons, rakshasas. And who are the atheists? So in one way, asuras are non-believers of God. They are together in one. Asuras and atheists, there is no much difference. Asuras have some extra powers that they get from Krishna only. And atheists are the one who are in illusion, puffed up. Isn't it? Puffed up about their knowledge. And because when you have knowledge, if the knowledge is not properly guided, by the spiritual authority, you become puffed up about it. And that knowledge only leads a conditioned soul to become more or less like an atheist. The knowledge of only matter also leads a conditioned soul to become an atheist. Isn't the only matter of knowledge. And the cultural approach to live a human life centered around dharma, artha, kama, moksha also becomes a soft atheist. Isn't it? Also leads to become a soft atheist. Soft atheist means they know, but actually they don't know. They think they know, but actually they are totally ignorant. They think that they are so nice because Saturday they go to some temple. Tuesday, they go to another temple. But actually they don't know anything. So in one way, in Kali Yuga, the situation is totally different. Demons don't exist. So asuras are not there like described in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. If you hear about asuras, you can hear the description of Kamsa. If you hear asuras and rakshasas, you can hear the description of Hiranyakashipu. Where is this pastime? Where Hiranyakashipu's hearing was told someone to lift. There's one story, no? Who told them? Huh? Ravan and Bali Maharaj, no? They wanted to preach Duryodhan, right? They wanted to, preach Ravan, no? Yeah. So in that story, they tell him to lift some gold was lying there. When he lifts the gold, he was not able to lift the gold mountain. They told him, this is the hearing of Hiranyakashipu. This is the hearing of Hiranyakashipu. So like that, if so much explanation is given to asuras and demons, but when asuric mentality goes into the mind, it's very difficult to come out. Even if you know, it will not come out. Even if you hear, it is very difficult. This reminds me the story of after Krishna kills Kamsa, he sends Akrura. He sends Akrura to Hastinapur. And he asks him, please go and see, how is my aunt Kunti? And how are my brothers, cousins, the Pandavas, doing at Hastinapur? You please go and meet them and let me know about it. So Akrura goes, and a beautiful description there in the Bhagavatam, that Akrura sees like Devi Kunti, she is actually like a she-deer living in Hastinapur, surrounded by tigers and jackals and lions. She is living like that. And then after Akrura meets Kunti, sees the Pandavas, he goes to Dhritarashtra. And he preaches to Dhritarashtra that what you and your sons and the Kauravas are doing with the Pandavas and Kunti is very wrong. And he tries to preach him very nicely with detailed explanation that how the Pandavas are pure devotees of Krishna, how Krishna is personally there, and description goes on, glorification of Krishna. And that Krishna is personally here in the material world. For what? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuga yuga. So this was told to Dhritarashtra. Now anyone knows what Dhritarashtra replies? Anyone? Yes. Dhritarashtra tells, my dear Akrura, I completely agree what you are telling me and accept it. And I completely accept that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is personally there, and he is going to annihilate all the demons. But what to do, Akrura? This remains in my mind only till the point thunder is in the sky. You understand thunder? Have you seen thunder in the sky? How many of you seen the thunder in the sky? How long you get to see? Fraction, right? In a fraction it comes and goes. So Dhritarashtra is telling Akrura that Krishna is there, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is here to protect his devotees. He is going to kill the demon. I know it, but it remains in my mind as much the thunder remains in the sky. So this is the Asuric mentality. This is the atheistic mentality. Even after knowing, it is very difficult to travel. And here Prabhupada mentions about In the purport, Prabhupada mentioned about the energies of the Supreme Lord. The Lord has His eyes everywhere. You know, Lord has His eyes everywhere. So when I was going for Jagannath Puri Yatra, so I was preparing for the Yatra. So there it comes. On the top of the Jagannath temple, there is a flag. In this temple also there is a flag. Jagannath flag only. Same Jagannath temple's flag. And on that flag, there is a moon and there is a sun. Have you seen that? What does it say? It says the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of a moon and sun is looking at you day and night. The Lord's energy, the sun and the moon. Some people think that the Lord is not that I went to the temple, now I came out, I can do whatever you want. No, sir. The sun is looking at you. Oh, night, the sun goes. No, sir. The moon is looking at you in the night. You cannot get away with it. So, sun and the moon. So, here it mentions about the energies of the Supreme Lord who are present everywhere. So, atheists, atheists know the world is in a different situation today because of Bhaktivedanta purports. Without the Bhaktivedanta purports, if you discuss this subject matter, you will understand this with great difficulty in many lifetimes. Forget about preaching. You will understand this subject matter in many lifetimes. Forget about preaching. But Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta purports, and Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita. His purports and Leelamrita is a life example for us how to preach in this age where people don't have the strength like asuras, but they think they are greater than asuras. They are completely atheistic, but they think they are great devotees. Right? Bhaktivedanta purports sweeps them off completely. One day, I was going to preach, traveling. Those days I used to travel to preach NIT Surat by train from Mumbai. So my assistant was there and I was sleeping. So there were a group of young boys, university boys, and they caught my assistant. And then one of them was drunk, I guess, and they said, Swamiji, come here. My assistant, he was like, Swamiji, where are you from? So he said, I'm Jew Mandir se. बोले एक बात बताओ, मंदिर क्यों जाना चाहिए? Tell me one thing, why we should go to temple? He's Bhagwan तो सब जगह पर है. God is everywhere. So my assistant, he was a new devotee. He said, yes, God is everywhere, but मंदिर में भगवान होता है, पूजा होता है. The Lord is worshipped there. The Lord is there in the temple. No, he said. If the Lord is everywhere, if God is everywhere, why we should go to temple? And this devotee was trying to build up, there is Mangalarti, there is Guru Puja, there is Prasadam. Leave that, Swamiji, he said. When God is everywhere, why to go to the temple is my question. Aap uska answer do, you answer that. So, he again built up that there are festivals, Janmashtami is there. You can see the Lord's form and purify your senses. He said, my question is not that what is happening in the temple. My question is very simple, Swamiji. Bhagwan, if Lord is present everywhere, why to go to the temple? In one way, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning this, these kind of people need shock treatment, Virat-rupa is like that, So I was sleeping, but half asleep, I overheard something. So then this fellow also saw me opening my eyes. He said, "Hamare Prabhuji uttar denge." I was sitting there, sleeping up, I came down. I said, "Kya hua?" Then he said, "नहीं स्वामी जी, हम तो सिर्फ इन छोटे स्वामी जी से पूछ रहे थे, भगवान अगर सब जगह है, तो मंदिर जाने की क्या जरूरत है?" So then I asked them, "Have you read the Gita?" The young Indians, Hindus, they should know Gita then if they're Hindus. It says, if a Muslim, if he doesn't read the Quran, doesn't know the Quran, if a Christian, if he doesn't know the Bible, and if a Hindu doesn't know the Gita, he is still yet to become a human being. he's still a two-legged animal without a tail. So I asked him, did you read the Gita? So they started looking at him. Then I understood nobody knows the Gita. Of course, I knew that, the way they were speaking. Then I raised my voice because it's a train. Did you read the Bhagavad Gita? So other people also started getting attention. He said, no. So that means your family never taught you the Gita, right? Right? So, they were like, no, Swamiji, we were just asking this Swamiji that, if there is God. No, I will answer. First, at least I actually wanted to make them accept that they're ignorant. First, because this is Prabhupada's preaching. Srila Prabhupada, he never get into a nonsense question. First, he would prove the questioner that he's a nonsense, then prove the question is a nonsense, and then send him. That is Srila Prabhupada's preaching. So I told him. So he said, no. I said, okay. I said, so you have not read the Gita. Now here I said, the Lord is everywhere in the form of His energy. In the form of His energy. Then Prabhupada writes here about the sun. Prabhupada writes here, the sun disk and the sun. If the sun comes inside the window, what do we say? Sun rays come, what do we say? The sun has come. So the sun and the sun's energy, there is no difference. Similarly, the Lord and His energy, there is no difference. The Lord and His energy, there is no difference. The sun, the moon, the nature, the air, the wind, every single thing which you see, it is the energy of the Lord. Just like the sun rays is energy of the sun. Then I asked them, do you agree with this? They said by that time they came onto their knees, by asking them only, that they don't know anything. They said, yes, Swamiji. He said, so the same Lord, when He's outside the temple, you can perceive Him through His energies, having knowledge about His energy, but inside the temple, you can experience the form of the Lord. And how does this form? In the scriptures it is mentioned, how does the Lord look? How does the Lord stand? How His eyes is like a lotus petal. How His palms are soft. And He's standing Tribhanga. And it is said, please don't go and see the Lord too much and too long. If you do that, you know what the gopis say? You will lose taste in the material world. You will lose taste in enjoying the material world. Hence, take short darshan and go. So then I told them, how to worship the Lord, who the Lord is, how does He look like, and develop a relationship with the Lord, you have to go to the temple to learn all these things. And when you see the Lord's energy, you understand how strong and how powerful He is. Then to surrender to Him and take His mercy, you have to come to the temple. Samajh mein aaya? I told them this. They said, yes, Swamiji. And then throughout the train, one of them was drunk. 2-3 times he said, Swamiji, sorry. Again after 10 minutes throughout the journey, Swamiji, you opened our eyes today. Sorry. So that is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. In fact, Srila Prabhupada also, once someone asked Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, those are reporters asking Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, are you God realized? So Srila Prabhupada was, I think it was a reporter, one of the reporters asking. Srila Prabhupada, he neglected that reporter and started answering the others. Again, he poked his mic. Swamiji, are you God realized? Srila Prabhupada again tried to ignore him. When he asked the third time, Swamiji, are you God realized? Srila Prabhupada looked at him and said, if I say yes, will you accept it? And now everyone is looking at him. And all eyes on him. And Prabhupada again looked at him and said, if I say yes, Will you accept it? And everyone is staring at him now because he has to respond now. You know, he was trying to put Swamiji on the spot. Swamiji has now put him on the spot. And that's Prabhupada's style, you know. Then he said, very soft voice, that would be difficult. Then Prabhupada said, then what's the use of such a nonsense question? Prabhupada's reply, what's the use of such a nonsense question? Prabhupada was like this. He waked up the questioner to his level and then proved him that you're a nonsense. Prabhupada once in Australia, and Prabhupada was giving a lecture in university, Srila Prabhupada. So one person said, Swamiji, today I feel I am the God. You heard this? Where Madhudvisa Prabhu tells this pastime. It's beautiful. He's there, standing there, you know. And then Prabhupada neglects that question, other questions of the university students, he answers. Again the person says, Swamiji, today I feel I am the God. Prabhupada could not tolerate it. He was holding himself. And Prabhupada said, today I feel like throwing my shoe on your face. Today I feel like throwing my shoe on your face. The guy just woke up, you know, because when he laughed, when he questioned, Prabhupada was neglecting it, and the young students were laughing. But when Srila Prabhupada replied, everyone roared together laughing at him. And the guy just woke up. So, in this material world, even if you hear about the Virat-rupa, which Prabhupada is mentioning here, it's inconceivable. Even if you tell someone, like I told these boys, you know, the Lord is in the form of His energy. I don't know how much they understood it. It's Virat-rupa is, by even in illusion and ignorance, people accept the Supreme Lord. Even in the scientific world, they have a great ego, the atheistic scientists. They have a great ego to accept spirituality or supreme absolute power, the absolute truth, the words, the supreme personality of Godhead. These are the words Srila Prabhupada has invented in the Bhagavatam to prove the world who is God, not directly Krishna. Prabhupada mentions Krishna, but he invented these statements. The absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead. So it's very difficult when in the atheistic standing, if they accept the supernatural power. So these are all names of Krishna for the modern atheist to accept. Even they accept that, but they don't accept Krishna. They accept there is a supernatural power by which all these activities are happening in the world. You know, the mobile rays. People were having paper. Earlier there were wires to make a call, but now there is invention, because there is energy, there's power in the nature which is doing all these things. But even if you prove all these things, they will not accept. And devotees are not interested. In fact, Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad Gita in the 11th canto, Krishna shows, because Arjuna, he hears from Krishna till the 10th chapter. And the 10th chapter is devotional service. Right? And then after that, Arjuna, just for the general masses of this world who are atheistic, who knowingly are ignorant, have not surrendered to anyone, for them, he asks, my dear Lord, how people are going to believe you? So Krishna, sitting there on the chariot of Arjuna, gives him the spiritual vision, it's mentioned here in this purport, and then shows him the Virat-rupa. Then shows him the Virat. Please, when I am saying, I am not realizing, I am just telling like this. He shows him that Virat-rupa which is described in the Bhagavad Gita. And in Virat-rupa, what does Arjuna see? He sees everything. He sees everything. It is described. And the most important thing, Arjuna was arguing, No, 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 my guru, my uncle, my grandfather, my brothers, how will I kill them? And after killing them, what will I enjoy? So Krishna says, hey, look there. He shows the past, present and future. So he shows the present that in some time they will die and then they will get a fresh body again. So he shows them, he shows Arjuna the future and the present right there. And then of course there is Kala, there's time, there's so many other elements, other factors described. Arjuna, when he saw all this thing, he got so disturbed that many of our devotees, when they come to this section of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, they also get disturbed. Read in this section about Virat-rupa, the cosmos, Jambu Dvipa, Meru Dvipa. Because it is such deep, vast science. Devotees skip it. They read it and they think they understood, and they know they have not understood and they go ahead. So that they can say, I completed the Bhagavatam. But yes, there are such scholars in our movement who have very beautifully explained them. And Srila Prabhupada, by his kind mercy, in Mayapur, the TOAP is giving a visual. He's told his disciple to give a visual of the subject matter of creation in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is going to come up in the TOAP. So, in this purport, Srila Prabhupada also writes that, he writes that the Asuras cannot recognize the existence of the Lord, although there is a vivid description of the Lord in the revealed scriptures. Although the Lord is an incarnation, exhibit his uncommon strength and energy, although he is accepted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the scholars like Vyasadeva, Narada, Asita and Devala in the past. So Vyasa, Asita, Devala and Narada accepted the Supreme Lord in the past, right? And then he writes, Shankara Ramanuja. You saw the Ramanujacharya temple. How many of you went? The Statue of Equality recently. So Ramanuja is 1,000 years ago. He's an Acharya of Sri Sampradaya. He also preached and established. Ramanuja, Madhvacharya, and then Prabhupada mentioned Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the modern age. They have also all preached about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But still, do you think the world is accepting it? No. In fact, when Srila Prabhupada, he went to the Western world to preach, he took the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam with him. Right? Srila Prabhupada went with Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and he preached in America for 1 year. And nothing was happening. Seeing the Western culture, Prabhupada sometimes used to come to the company which sent him to America, asking them, when is your ship coming so that I can book a return ticket and go back? And as soon as the day of ships coming would come, Prabhupada would change his mind, let me give a try. Let me give a little more try. Let me give a little more try. And Prabhupada would every time get disgusted and wanting to go back, but then again decide no. So Prabhupada said in one of his conversations to his disciples, I was disgusted in this sinful country. Disgusted and completely hopeless. And then I took my kartals and went on the street and chanted, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada says, even after having Bhagavata, it did not work. Bhagavatam in his hand, it did not work. Even after having the instruction of his spiritual master to preach, it did not work. When did it work, When he took the kartals and went on the street and chanted the holy name. And I'm sure the Gurukul boys who are here today, so many years they are in the Gurukul, but I'm for sure yesterday you must have experienced the power of the holy name, no? Did you? Did you? Did you? So you experience the power. You may have the whole world with you and the knowledge of the whole world. You may know the yagya, you may know the mantra, you may know deity worship, you may know everything, but to experience the power of Krishna's presence is only possible in Kali Yuga when you go out on the street and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. That's why it is said, Harinam is everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave that name. Nama vina kali kale, nahi yar dharma, sarva mantra nam sara, hey shastra marma. So, nama vina kali kale, nahi yar dharma. There's no other dharma in the Kali Yuga except the holy name. Nama bina kali kale nahi ar. Nama. So if you just chant the holy name, everything will manifest. And this is what Srila Prabhupada did. And this whole movement manifested for the material world. Correct or not? He had the Bhagavatam. He had the instruction. He had the holy name. But until he took and went, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made Srila Prabhupada completely hopeless. And when he hit the streets with the holy name, Mahaprabhu showed him the miracle of the Nam Yagya. Correct or not? So, here it is mentioned that there are so many processes, and Prabhupada also established the Varnashrama. He said 50% of the movement is Varnashrama, which I want to show. So in one way, Varnashram is a process where everyone can have an opportunity to see the Supreme Lord. And here it is explained about the Virat-rupa, but in Kali Yuga, in the current situation, people are so ignorant. This is far beyond their conception to think about. If they understand they are human being, that itself is sufficient. Right now, people are living like animals and thinking they are gentlemen. We are living in such a circumstance. And if you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there's a beautiful pastime which very much relates to how Srila Prabhupada actually also took up the holy name. And Mahaprabhu, this beautiful pastime confirms that. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was in Banaras. He was chanting in the streets of Banaras loudly and dancing. And so many of them were following him. But there lived a great Mayavadi sannyasi. Who was he? Prakashananda Saraswati. And now Prakashananda Saraswati, he knew Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas from Keshava Bharati, who's also lying in Mayavad. But they don't know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first chanted the mantra into his ears and then took the mantra back from him. That's a different pastime. But Prakashananda Saraswati knew Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his guru is Keshava Bharati. So he called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he told him, you are a sannyasi. And you have taken sannyas from Keshava Bharati. Why are you chanting and dancing like a sentimental fellow in the streets? Why are you chanting like this? Why didn't you read Vedanta? Why don't you read Vedanta and glorify the Vedas? Why are you chanting like this? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, actually my spiritual master told, you are a murkha. You simply chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He says, what? You are a murkha. You simply chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then he says, by chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I have become mad. Pagala hoilo ami. That's a beautiful narration that he describes to Prakashananda, how he goes and tells his spiritual master, my dear master, you have told me to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but by chanting this I have become mad. And then the spiritual master gives him a very beautiful reply, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells to Prakashananda. This is there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, 7th chapter, verse number 80. Adi Lila, 7th chapter, verse number 80. Is it there? Is there? So the verse, we'll chant these few verses, 5-6 verses, very beautiful verses, and then we'll read them also, okay? Pagala hoilo ami dhariya nahi mone. Pagala hoilo ami dhariya nahi mone. Ita chinti nivedilo Guru Racharane. Ita chinti nivedilo Guru Racharane. Kiba mantra dilo goshai. Kiba tara bala. Kiba mantra dilo goshai. Kiba tara bala. Jopite mantra. Korila pagala. Jopite pagala. Hasya nachaya more. Karaya krandana. Hasaya nachaya more. Karaya krandana. Ita shuni guru hosi. Bolilo vachana. Krishna nama mahamantra. Eita svabhava. Yei jope tari Krishna upajai bhava. Upajai bhava. Krishna vishayaka prema. Parama purushartha. Vishayaka prema. Yara age trina tulya. Chari purushartha. Panchama Purushartha Premanandamrita Sindhu Shartha Premanandamrita Sindhu Moksha Radhi Anand Yara Nai Ek Bindu Yara Nai Ek Bindu Krishna na mera phala Prema sarva shastra kaya Bhagya se ei prema Tomaya karilo udaya Karila udaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he tells Prakashananda that by chanting this holy name, I become mad, and I went to my spiritual master. I told him, I saw that I have become mad by chanting the holy name, and I immediately submitted to the lotus feet of my spiritual master. My dear Lord, what kind of mantra you have given me? I have become like a simply mad chanting this Mahamantra. Chanting this holy name is ecstasy causing me to dance, laugh and cry. When my spiritual master heard all this, he smiled and began to speak. It is the nature of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that anyone who chants it immediately develops his loving ecstasy for Krishna. Religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, liberation are known as the four goals of life. But before love of Godhead, the fifth, the highest goal, this appears as an insignificant straw in the street. For a devotee who has actually developed bhava, the pleasure derived from dharma, artha, kama, moksha appears like a drop of presence of the sea. Drop in the presence of a sea. The conclusion of all the revealed scriptures is that one should be awakened in his dormant love for Godhead. You are greatly fortunate. You have already done it. So the conclusion for all of us from this purport is that let the people who are busy understanding the Virat-rupa understand, we should know what we have already. And in Kali Yuga, even after knowing the Virat-rupa, people will not know until they hit the streets with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan and chant loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. So, now we saw the example of Srila Prabhupada, who had to hit the street. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was instructed by his spiritual master, who hit the street. Prabhupada informed ISKCON. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Prayag, in Banaras, converted thousands of disciples of Prakashananda along with him to his disciples and gave them the holy name, made them Vaishnavas. Right? And I'll tell you one very nice story of the traveling Sankirtan party. You can go on 5 minutes. In 2016, you are sitting here in Aktapur. In 2016, myself, Nitai Madhav Prabhu, Chaitanya Avatar Prabhu, Narottam Priya Prabhu, we were in some circumstances, we were completely hopeless. Hopeless of certain situations we wanted to change or certain complaints we had. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a complaint, Prabhupada had a complaint, we also had a complaint. So then, and our spiritual master, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, it's very difficult for him, he was a GBC and the Guru. And you go to him to complain about the management and ISKCON, and if you're a disciple, he will push you to the wall and lift you up. and tell you, follow the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Be humble. That's it. He will not say that, but he will argue in such a way, you will come out, you understand there is no hopes. Right? Except he was such beautiful personality. One day Narottam Priya Prabhu, he told my spiritual master, Maharaj, how much humble you want us to become? How much more humble we should become? Maharaj said, in my 50 years of experience, I always am victorious by acting with humility and being humble. I never felt that I lost anything. So just be humble. So of course, following in this first step, we took a Sankirtan. There was a 20 years old bus lying in Juhu temple. Myself, Nitai Madhaprabhu, and some devotees, we just jumped into this bus and we said, let's go out and do on the street Harinam Sankirtan. Let's see what the Lord and Prabhupada shows us. And we were few grastas at that time. Myself, Nimai is there. Nimai Chandra is there. He's not here. Baba chala gaya. So he was there with us on the bus. I was a Grihastha, new Grihastha. And I guess, 2016, yeah. I think all four were born. Mayapur, Vrindavan, and Krishnadas and Balram were also born. So we went on the street and we did Harinam. We just went and did Harinam. We went to one temple, Jivdani temple near Mumbai. To our shock, while doing Harinam, the first day we didn't know how to manage our center because we were lost. We failed in fundraising also by then. We were trying to build a temple in Bhiwandi. We failed in fundraising also. We did a big Janmashtami, thinking that we'll do so big, that so much money will come, that we will do the Janmashtami and build the temple. But we did so big that we went into a debt of 20 lakhs after the Janmashtami. So we locked the temple, took the deities on the bus and ran away actually. So then, on the first day of Harinam, we collected 10,000 rupees in 1 hour. And the biggest surprise was, in India, in front of the temples, you see some hawkers. Have you seen? Some beggars in front of temples in India. You seen that? Have you seen? Those hawkers were giving their money to us because of the Harinam. That was a shock of my life. Nitai Mata, you remember? Huh? That was a shock of my life. Next day, our collection was 20,000. And people were calling from their shops. Come. And then they didn't wanted books, but they were giving some donation. Did you get some donations? People just giving some rupees and coins. Huh? So then I got an idea. Arey Baba, people in India are so kind. Even if they don't want a book, they want to help sadhus who are chanting the holy name. So we designed a transparent hundi. You see that hundi there? That's our invention. Is there? Big one on the corner. So we made one small one and I used to give everyone's hand. Tan, it started getting filled. The book's money and the hundi would be equal. Almost end of the day. I thought, it's working. Then we made 4 hundis. You will not believe. We went for 6 months like this. When we came back after 6 months, we had sufficient funds to run the temple for next 3 months. And in the bus, Sankirtan bus, we bought grocery for 6 months to run the center. 6 months. Yesterday, you Gurukul boys, you all bought sabjis for 1 week. Almost 5 days, the temple is not going to buy any sabji. It's all brought. You brought it, no? Did you? So then we saw the miracle of the holy name. The power of the holy name. So then, Nitai Madhaprabhu, myself, we came back in the same spirit like we did Harinam. We started going to people. I said, Nitai Madhaprabhu, go to anyone and everyone, tell them we want to build a temple, you have money, give your money. Just ask. He went, and finally the Bhiwandi temple which we have, it was a bungalow which we converted into a temple. So that bungalow was on a debt. To go for the Garbha, we don't have the money for next month. We are sitting in a bed to buy a 2 crore bungalow and also planning to buy it from the person who buys it from the bedding. And Nitai Madhav, Chaitanya Narottam Prabhu got freaked out with me, for pushing them. But we went there, we sat there, the bed happened, and then Nitai Madhav Prabhu went to all his donors and told one of the donors, whose name is Mr. Ganesh, and his good wife, Shaileja Mataji. They were living in Mumbai, they were supposed to move to US. That same day when Nitai Madhav met them and told them that this is the bungalow we are planning to buy and this is the cost of the bungalow. And he gave them some prasadam and he was returning back, right? And on the way, the Mataji called him, Shaileja Mataji, and told, Prabhu, we had invested some money. And while you were speaking to us today, correct me, while you were speaking to us, our investment has appreciated. The amount of the appreciation is exactly the cost of this bungalow. I think Krishna wants me to do this service. Please take this. That's how we got the Bhivandi bungalow. Then I was sent to Hyderabad for some service. Many senior devotees told me Hyderabad has only one big temple, which was built by Srila Prabhupada. You went there 50 years ago. All of you have seen Abid's temple. There's no second temple. So our donor of this temple, Mr. Mahendra Vijay Vargeji and his whole family, they built this temple. But Mahendra ji used to every year sponsor the deity dresses of Gauru Purnima at the Abid's temple. For some reason, in 2019, upcoming Gaur Purnima, he was told some other devotee want to sponsor also. So he came to me and he told me, Prabhuji, my seva is taken away. I am always giving the dress of Gaur Purnima. By that, I knew he's a very efficient person. But I did not know this efficiency. So I told him very casually, Prabhu, why don't you build your own temple? Invite the Lord to come and you give the most beautiful dresses to the Lord, not on Gaur Purnima. 365 days you only give. And you see this, Radha Madhav manifested. So that day he removed his pocket. He told me, Prabhuji, in Aktapur, today only I gave a token to purchase a small piece of land. If you want, we can build a temple here. I said, chalo, let's go and see the temple. I came here. The land was too small. I said, this is too small. Why don't you buy the adjacent also? Done. He bought the next land. Then I said, if you want me to build the temple, I can guarantee you next 5 years. But if you want the Lord to come, you build, we'll worship. He actually built the temple and gave. And brought the deities, bought the deity dress, everything. Built the whole temple and he gave, the door is there, no? That door, the key and that he bought one day before the temple opening. And on the day of the temple opening morning, he and his brother gave me the keys of this temple. Keys. He said, Prabhu, the deities are there, the deity kitchen is there, the deity dress is there. Now you please take care of the temple. That's how this temple came up. Shri Radha Madhava ki. So the point I'm trying to make is, Srila Prabhupada, he went to the West, he preached, he came back to India and he preached, built temples. You see this beautiful Gurukul boys who are from different part of the world. In India, we have seen, if you tell a parent that your son has become a devotee of Krishna, they will beat their chest, cry, as if something very terrible has happened in their family now. And I've personally experienced it. There is one boy who's sitting here. He was sitting last time also. His father came here and told me that when he saw his son in dhoti kurta, he told me, now what will I do of him by taking him home? Unfortunately, Indians have become so weak, so dull spiritually, that if their child becomes a devotee, it's an unfortunate circumstance for them. But you see this wonderful personalities. We have Dwapayana Prabhu, who's from Ukraine. His good wife is also here, I guess. And we have his sons. His two sons are here. And then we have Mahamantra. You're from which country, Mahamantra? Russia. He's from Russia. And what's your name? Sakshi Gopal is from US. Our Abhay is from Israel, Russia. Mukunda is from Russia. Yeah. Ukraine, Russia, Israel, US, Malaysians. We have a couple of Malaysians here. See this? Imagine, the sacrifice these parents are doing. They are seeing that none of the Indians want their children to become devotees, but they come to this country by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, having faith in Srila Prabhupada and his teachings, and they want their children to become Vaishnavas. They want their children to serve this mission. This mission is our mission in one way. This is Bharat Bhumi to hoilo janma yar, janma sartak kari karo paro upakar. The duty of everyone who's born in India is first to make your life perfect by practicing Krishna consciousness, and then go out and give to the whole world this message. But if you ask an Indian that your son has become a devotee, they will act as if there's someone who has died in the family. This is the degradation today. But by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we can see today, and we have a great responsibility as Indians. These boys, wonderful families, they are going to Mayapur because Mayapur has the facility. But it is duty of the whole Indian Yatra to build temples like Mayapur, like Gurukuls, like Vrindavan, all over the world, so that these beautiful Vaishnavas can come anywhere and be like family. You cannot imagine the challenges they have to go through. They have to really leave their country. They have to come to almost a third world country. And they want their children to become devotees. This is the magic of Srila Prabhupada. Once Prabhupada was preaching in a house of an Indian with his Western disciples, and he told this story. Motilal Nehru, the father of Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, in the British era, Motilal Nehru had one British servant in his house. He used to pay him 10 times what he has to pay an Indian servant. 10 times. But Motilal Nehru was proud to have one British servant. And Prabhupada put his hand on his Western disciples and he said, I have all these European and American boys. They serve me. I don't pay them anything. They serve me, but I don't pay them anything. That is a magic of the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. That is a magic of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. There's a magic of going out on the street and doing Harina. So please take this mission very seriously. I have told so many people came to preach me after I become a Grihastha. What about your sons? You have children. What is their future? What will they do? I said, no. Every living entity in this world is born with his karma. The material assets come by karma. Even if I earn a whole 10 buildings or 4 buildings, if they don't deserve it in their material karma, they are going to anyways lose it. Material things cannot change. I am dark, my sons are dark, now I cannot change it. He is white, Prabhu is white, his children are white, we cannot change it, can we? No. Karma doesn't change. Karma is so accurate that not even one hair more will grow in your body as much destined. That accurately karma burns. Only we don't have faith on these things. We have faith that if I go out, work like a donkey, earn something, save something, I will be secure, and then I can do bhakti, because bhakti is not going anywhere. Bhakti is here only. Radheshyam Prabhu used a beautiful example. He says, this kind of mentality of the Indians is like sitting in front of the Jagannath Puri ocean. How many have heard about Jagannath Puri? The ocean, you have to take bath in the ocean. He says that you are sitting with your gamcha or swimming costume near the ocean, standing there, waiting that as soon as the waves will stop, you will quickly go take bath and come back. But my dear sir, the waves of ocean will never stop and you will never take bath. So in this material world, the material problems will never be solved. As soon as my Guru Maharaj used to say, today the Indian situation is such that with great difficulty they will earn one house. In case they are in their 40s, they will earn the second house for their child also. And in case they are in the 60s, they will try to make something for the grandchild also. And after that, whatever coins and chiller is left, that they will donate to the temple. That's the mentality. चिल्लर जो बचा है मंदिर में दे देंगे, या तो फिर रिटायरमेंट में मंदिर में आ जाएंगे, you know. Prabhupada says, क्या बोलते हैं, मुरझाया हुआ फूल, no? Huh? See this, Radha Madhav, see the flowers, fresh flowers. Imagine, you know, this flower, which is from yesterday. And another 2 days, if this flower is kept just like this, another 2 days, can you offer it? Can you offer such a flower to the Lord? Tell me. No, we cannot. So, the fresh flower is like the youth. It's like the youth. When you are young, you can do so many things. That's when you have to offer yourself to the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not when you're old, you know, even the family doesn't want you, they tell you, jao ek ghanta mandir mein baitho, hum log sar kyun kha rahe, then come to a temple. No like this. So take up this mission very seriously. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. I would like to thank Nitai Madhav Prabhu and all the Gurukul boys who came here. They have come here to spend their holidays, but they don't know how much preaching is happening just by their presence here. Thank you very much. Dwapendra Prabhu, Nitai Madhav Prabhu, for making this decision to come here. Hare Krishna.